Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to tonight's live show. So, James Gunn teases Jonah Hex. Well, what exactly happened was he was celebrating on a post Jonah Hex's 50th anniversary. He's, of course, the DC Western outlaw. So, it's another day and another tease from James Gunn. Isaac Cruz Pineda, hey Mick, good evening Isaac. Ronnie Dodge, hey Mick, DC Western could be amazing. Yes, this is what we're going to get. Lots of stuff we've never had before. And it's exciting. And this is exactly how you fill out the new DC universe. With your icons, but with lots of stuff we haven't had before. And I've been talking about how you make different movies, different types of movies, and the DC Western would be absolutely brilliant. Now, of course, you could be celebrating just the 50th anniversary of Jonah Hex. I don't think so. So in the past few weeks, we've had Deadman, Lobo, we had Mr. Terrific last night, and now it's Jonah Hex. So this is extremely exciting, and I would say some kind of slate is coming very, very soon. Running Dodge Western CBM is so different. If it happens, I'm so in, although not the biggest fan of Western movies. Well, here's the thing. I'm not particularly into Westerns myself, although Young Guns and Young Guns 2 was pretty awesome. But I think, this is something different. This is something cool. And this is what you're going to see, something different and something cool. Characters that have not been used before. I said on a video today, this is why it's exciting to have James Gunn. He's capable of making these smaller characters so relatable because he's been doing it all of his career. So, yeah, I'm really, really hyped for this. Like, all these little teases are just exciting to me. And they may not be characters I know about, or I asked for, but they will be done in a way that are accessible to everyone. This is about making everybody happy, not just you happy, not just me happy, all DC fans, the general audience, and having commercial success, because this is what they want. They're not here for the charity. They're not here to, say, hey, we're doing DC because we're DC fans. They're here to make money. DC's their biggest IP. And, filling it out with characters who haven't been done in live action before is a brilliant way forward. And the more he posts, the more he teases, the more excited I get. Nothing is off the table. And I would say we are very, very close to some kind of mini slate by the end of this calendar year, because they're fast tracking this. They want this done. They want people to know as soon as possible something new and exciting is coming, because they know there's not that much excitement for the final 4 Hamada movies. They know, that they're not going to make that much money, and it can't be the future, and it's not. And there's a different plan. There's something new going on. Whether that has some connection to the old DCEU or not, it's really, really exciting. So, yeah. Bring it on. Give me that good shit. So, yeah, my late father loved Westerns. So, a lot of the old timers did. I used to watch them as a kid. Look, there's something modern and fast-paced you can do with them. It's all about imagination. And it's all about us as fans having that same imagination. You can't fill out a universe with Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman only. It ain't going to work. You can have those top IPs, but you've got to fill them out with other characters. We've kind of seen this in, the DCAU, the animated universe. We've seen all these different characters. Why not in live action? So brilliant. Very, very, very cool, very exciting, and I'm here for it. And all this stuff can't come soon enough for me. It's been a very interesting 2022 for us DC fans. We started the year with losing the Flash movie from 2022, losing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, losing the Flash movie, losing Shazam Fury of the Gods eventually. They're coming next year. I was very negative at the beginning of the year. I was very frustrated by these delays. And then we slowly realized we were getting a merger, and clearly there were issues with these Hamada movies, and plans were afoot. And who would have thought at the beginning of 2022, when we were talking about these delays, and I was very suspicious about these delays, and I was proven right, that James Gunn and Peter Safran, by the end of the year, will be running the newly formed DC studios that former Warner Brothers CAO, or CFO, should I say, Alan Horn, would be an advisor, a special advisor to the new CEO, Discovery CEO, former Discovery CEO, David Zaslav, and he'd be running Warner Brothers. Wow. Who would have thought we would have lost Batgirl? It's so interesting. We've had such a strange year. We spent the first half of the year being negative, being upset, seeing the disgusting things going on with the conduct of Ezra Miller. And, there's no defending that, whatever way you come in, and me making some enemies for criticizing Ezra for his conduct. But that's part of fandom, I'm afraid. There's some fans that will defend anything. That's a shame, because, there are victims out there. And just because you're famous, it doesn't give you the right to dictate to us how we behave while you do whatever the fuck you want. So it's been a really strange year to be a DC fan. I've never ever experienced anything like this as a DC fan. It's been absolutely weird. As I say, starting off the year such on a negative foot, and now I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and they're getting their shit together. Who would have thought a Bible nearly complete for DC Universe? Exciting. The DCEU never even had a damn Bible. They were just making shit up as they went along. Obviously, certain fans are never going to admit that. And, the past is in the past. It's done. It's over. And we're focusing on the future, because we can't do anything about the past. We can't. We can't control the past. And, this is really, really interesting. So I do expect some kind of announcement. There's also going to be some kind of convention where DC are plugging some movies, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the Flash movie, and Shazam Fury of the Gods as well. So it'll be interesting what's said there. Will James Gunn be there? Will Peter Safran be there? Of course, Peter is definitely producing Shazam Fury of the Gods, and I think Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom as well. I don't know about the Flash movie. Now, I'm not sure if the Safran Pictures Group was involved with that one. So, yeah. And there may be some things that are kind of told to us about the future as well. So very interesting situations afoot, and things. If you're following DC, if you're a DC fan, if you're a DC YouTuber like me, you can't take your eyes off the ball. I'm always scrolling about all day trying to find information, because there's always something happening. And, I kind of understand what James Gunn and Peter Safran are attempting to do, but I don't really want to get into it until announcements are made, because I think making statements about what's going to happen, like, definitely is a very dangerous thing to do. Again, home of DCU talking, shilling stuff and saying this actor's going to play Mr. Terrific and this and that. There's no point. You don't know what's going on. Home of DCU saying, Matt Reeves, the Batman, won't be part of the DC universe. You could be right about that, but you don't know for sure. You don't have any inside info. Nobody does. You're going to have to wait till these things are announced, and you can pretend that you knew all the time when you fucking didn't anyway. And so we're all in the dark. And I think that's kind of a good thing. I think I don't want to know everything. I want it to be a surprise. I want to be excited alongside everyone else. And, something really exciting and bold and adventurous is happening with DC Universe. Past few weeks, we've gone from the DCEU to the DCU. We've gone from no DC studios to finally launching DC Studios, and these two guys are in charge. And, you know, time will tell if they're the right people. Time will tell if what they do is successful. And again, very dangerous to predict failure or success because, again, you know, it's an unpredictable climate now, superhero live action. It's especially with DC. So much damage has been done with the DCEU. It could damage DC live action forever because when an audience doesn't have any faith in you, you know, it doesn't matter if you try something new, it could end up still being damaging. An interesting situation was Batman and Robin really hurt the box office for Batman Begins. Batman Begins didn't make a lot of money. Batman Begins is a great movie, but it took Batman Begins till we went to The Dark Knight, and, you know, that movie made real money. And Batman showed his prowess in the box office again because Batman and Robin was a very damaging movie for Batman live action. And Batman Begins took the pain, and credit to the studio for allowing Christopher Nolan to do a second movie. And what a second movie, and how important and vital in the iconography of DC is Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. So, yeah, damage has been done. Nothing's been achieved yet. We don't know. We just don't know anything. So it's, for me, a wait and see thing. It's not something for me to say, oh, yeah, definitely going to be good, definitely going to be bad. And I know a lot of people are saying that. You just don't know till it happens. And in the end, you just look like being a fool. You know, if you think something's, you know, this is going to work or this is not going to work. And until we see a slate will be very, very revealing. But already he's kind of teasing a slate every fucking day anyway. They've almost completed their Bible. So clearly they're ready to announce some stuff. So it's going to be interesting what the first DCU movie is going to be. And then the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth. And will they reveal the story arc just to get us hyped as well? And it's interesting how much they kind of release here because there are movies next year coming up. And so it's that balance. Do you want to distract from those movies because they're that bad? Or do you want to keep the attention on next year's movies as well? Will they reveal that The Flash is still going to change the DCU and they're going to jump off a Flashpoint into the new DC universe? Or isn't that what's happening anymore? Because that's what Hamada was doing. That was the Hamada plan. So are we leaving the Hamada plan? Are we kind of sticking to jumping off into a new timeline after Flash? Or don't these DCEU movies that are coming out next year even matter anymore? And that's not something the studio are going to admit to because they want us to go and see them. They want us to hype them up. They need to make money. These films have been made. And it's a very weird situation with next year's movies. How much they matter. What connection do they have to the future that Peter Safran and James Gunn are actually forging here? And that's the thing as well. These are the questions that are going to be answered sooner rather than later. And everyone's eager to know what the whole plan is here. Because it does look like a new universe. It does look like they do look like, you know, they want to sing from the same hymn sheet. And they don't want stuff over there and stuff over here and 600 Batmans and 50 Supermen and things like that. But you could still have some kind of multiversal strategy. Have no idea. I'm absolutely stumped. I know what Gunn will do because Gunn will do what he's always done and basically take these smaller characters and make them kind of, you know, put them in there for the general audience and make them relatable. That's what Gunn's all about. And so that's why he's been brought on board to kind of establish all these characters in the DC universe so they can stand beside the iconic characters in the DC universe. And that's what's going to happen. Now, whether people are excited about that or not, that's what's happening. And you'll just have to wait and see if the plan works. Because it is an ambitious plan. It's DC like we've never seen it before. And I think to fans, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Please pinch me. Because, you know, I can't believe we're here. I can't believe this is going to happen. And it is going to happen. We are moving forward. And whether people want to report on their little sites that this is happening, that's not happening. They can do what they want and report what they want to happen as fact. It doesn't make it fact. We're not in charge. They are. They're making the decisions. They're trying to make the best decisions possible to make DC successful on the cinema screen, on the streaming service, in animation, in gaming. So the plan they're doing is absolutely the right plan. I have no doubt about that. We've tried different things. We've tried making standalone movies. We've tried putting directors in with their own vision. We've tried all that. And ultimately, for example, the Joker movie made over $1 billion. Now, I love Joker, but it made over $1 billion because of the progressives' outrage, because they're not the smartest movement in the box, are they? They made all that fuss. They got outraged. What happened? Out of intrigue, everyone went to see the movie. So I think there'll be more outrage for Joker Folly You Do, because they're not going to be happy that they're going to catalogue the relationship between Joker and Harley instead of Harley and, Poison Ivy. They're going to get upset because it's a toxic relationship. I've already seen some of them on Twitter starting. So, as I say, look, as fans, I don't believe fans should always get what they want. I believe the people running things, if they're good people, should be allowed to put their vision out there and we'll see. I think there's some things where fans, should say we want this, and sometimes it should happen. But if you're not someone from the industry who's not used to executing this stuff, then it's hard to understand. I mean, looking at the MCU and looking at the DCEU in the past and thinking, the MCU's getting all this stuff and we're not, because it's all about who's in charge, who's molding the clay at the end of the day. And the people molding the clay had a different idea to how I envisioned DC live action. I envisioned the kind of stuff we saw in the DCAU, which was multiple characters, grade Zs, grade As, grade Bs, different stories. Sometimes they had a continuing strand from the rest of the DCAU. Sometimes they were standalone movies as well. So there's such a mixture in that universe. And I always wanted that kind of thing to happen in live action. And what we had Snyder's plan, we had Bergen John's plan, which was Justice League. And then you had Hamada's plan. And really, we just got to be grateful that this merger happened, because I just think that Walt Hamada's plan was going to fail. He's just been given a job at Paramount because he brings movies in on budget. Joker was made cheaply, huge profit. Shazam was made cheaply. Well, at the end of the day, you can't be making like Superman movies and Green Lantern movies for under 100 million. That may bring some profit to you, but ultimately, there's no ambition there. And this was always the problem with Hamada. And I've been through the ringer. So at first I was defending him, then I wasn't defending him. John, I saw on Twitter that Shazam 2 will be the first movie under the label DC Studios. Well, you've got to be careful here, John, because, obviously, it's under the label of DC Studios, but is it part of the new DC universe, or is it still part of the old franchise? So that's very exciting that it's a part of DC Studios. Of course it is. DC Studios is open now. It's open for business. So you're going to get the DC Studios logo. That's very, very exciting. So we have to wait and see what connections there are between the new DCU and the old franchise. Probably some kind of connection. I just don't know what. But that's exciting, John, and thank you for that information. It'll be great to see the logo come up. Hopefully we get a different kind of logo from the past, and very interesting, very exciting. I know fans will be very excited about that. And we do have 4 movies next year. And we'll see what happens to that old franchise, if it has any context to the future. We could be dealing still with the multiverse, but done the James Gunn and Peter Safran way. Again, nobody really knows. But I think very soon, we're going to get some kind of slate, and we're going to be in the know a little bit more. Not completely, because you don't want to be too in the know. But be very, very interesting once they start, giving more information. And it'll be interesting to see what context the Flash movie has as well. With the future, is it, as I said, is it connected to some kind of new timeline, or doesn't the Flash movie really matter anymore in the context of the future plan? Your guess is as good as mine. But I'm here for all of it. It's really cool. We're in interesting times, and we'll see where we're going with all of this, because I think people can see we're going in uncharted territory here. So that's very interesting as well. When you talk about Jonah Hex, there has been a Jonah Hex movie before. It weren't very good, was it? Jonah Hex is actually a very, very good character. Again, you can kind of look at him a bit like Lobo, a bit of a Han Solo, a bit of a loose cannon. John, would you be okay with Robert Henry and Gal as the DC Unity? Robert Henry and Gal. Oh, right. Well, look, first of all, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me, but nobody knows if that's any close to the truth. A few weeks ago, David Zaslav said he's open to doing anything that Matt Reeves wants to do. Now, to me personally, Matt Reeves didn't seem to want to join one defined universe and being trapped into it. So unless something's happened where they've convinced him to come to the party, and, you know, in this industry, you mustn't write off any scenarios. So it's possible, but I think it's only 25% of probability. So I'm not going to say no. Would I be happy with Robert Henry and Gal? Of course I would. But you could be looking at two different names there. You just don't know. So it could be anything. But yeah, I'm not opposed to it. But I know what Matt Reeves was saying during the build-up to the Batman. He didn't seem like a man who wants to join somebody else's universe unless they've convinced him, unless he still gets the creative freedom, but his Batman joins kind of the one-note story. But again, you're talking about 25% probability, because we know what Matt stands for. We know what Todd Phillips stands for as a filmmaker. Todd Phillips is no comic book fan. He came into this to tell stories using the comic book medium as his training in a way. So, yeah, it does look unlikely that they would want to join the main universe, but there's always a chance. Always a chance. And, you know, fans these days think they know it all. They think they know what's going to happen. I was banging my head against a brick wall earlier this year when I was trying to educate people about the delayed movies, and there was deeper reasons, and people didn't like it. People just want to shill, and I'm afraid that's not what I am. When I see something going south, I have to say it's going south, and it was pretty obvious that something was going on there, and it turned out to be true. There was a lot of things going on, and now we've got a merger. Now we've got a new vision. And it's pretty clear that's partly the reason some of these movies were delayed. And they didn't have any movies for next year originally. They had maybe they were going to release Batgirl, but Batgirl was going to be released at some Christmas, this Christmas or next Christmas. Don't know what they were doing. But yeah, then Batgirl went off. They shelved Batgirl, and they only were going to have Blue Beetle next year originally. And obviously, that was on Hamada and Emmerich. Dabian Donaldson, hello. Good evening, Mick. Good evening. Is James Gunn going to make a new Jonah Hex film? That's cool. I didn't mind the 2010 film. I can barely remember it, but he hasn't said he's making the film. He's teased. He's basically congratulated the character on its 50th anniversary, but it's yet another tease in reality. So there's nothing definite there, Dabian. We're talking about someone who's running DC posting a picture of a character, but clearly he's teasing it. It doesn't necessarily, and if it is happening, it doesn't necessarily mean that James is going to make the movie, as he is the co-chair of DC Studios. So he could appoint someone else to do it. Of course, he'll be doing some stuff, but we know where he's going to be working in terms of DC Universe, in terms of content, and that's Peacemaker 2. Probably the Checkmate series that's been rumored as well. So he definitely, I don't think, would have time to work on Jonah Hex. Maybe. Who knows? Again, best not to discount anything at this stage, but he's teased Deadman, he's teased Lobo, he's teased Mr. Terrific, and now basically in disguise of a celebration of the character's anniversary, he's pretty much teasing Jonah Hex. Something's happening every day now, isn't it? So it's just exciting. It's just exciting that he's taking over the conversation. He's not allowing any rumors to come in. He's, there's no leaks anymore. It was ridiculous the amount of DC leaks we were getting when Snyder was in control, when Berg and Johns were in control, and when Hamada was in control. People knew too much. Now everybody's a bit miffed because nobody knows anything, but that's the best way to be. When James Gunn wants to tell us things, he'll tell us things. And when he doesn't, we're not going to know shit. And that's the way it should be run, just like the MCU is run. That's why the MCU is such a tight ship. And I was rewatching Spider-Man No Way Home. I think that's a near perfect superhero movie, personally. It doesn't matter if you like the MCU or not. That is such a good movie. It's literally a film that's got a great middle, big start, middle, and ending. It's so good, and I like the way it's not a happy ending. I like the way it's left in tragedy in a way. It's, and Peter's on his own, like the iconic Spider-Man. They've set him up brilliantly. And I don't know if that was always the plan, but it ended up really well. Dabian Donaldson, thank you for the confirmation, Mick. I'm looking forward to the official slate of new DC films soon. Aren't we all, my friends? And I think we'll be getting one really, really soon. They want to fast track this. They want to get into work. They want movies for 2024, I think. I don't know if that's possible, but who knows? Who knows? You can, you could have a couple at the end of 2024. I don't know if that's possible, but I do know they want to get to work. They want to have content out as soon as possible. They've got content for next year. They want content going forward, and they're getting to work on this stuff because Zaslav wants to make money. Let me explain something to you, because what happens is, if the first DC Universe movie is successful, it's not just the profit they make from that. The shares go up. Wall Street, at Wall Street, Warner Brothers Discovery will be doing better. So there's so many profits to be made from a flourishing DC universe, a flourishing Harry Potter universe, and this is how it works. It's not just about the profits one film makes. So if Black Adam did better, that would have been great for Warner Brothers Discovery in their current financial plight. But quite frankly, I wouldn't exactly call Black Adam a flop, but it's not brought in big money at all. And that is kind of the virus of the DC Extended Universe and the damage that was done to it. There's no excitement for that universe. The general audience are not excited in that universe. And they know that's why they're trying to inject some excitement with James Gunn and Peter Safran and all these teases. And we know the intention is clear, to have a connected universe, spanning one story through multiple platforms. And we'll see how that works out. John, a bit more information. WB is going to an event in Brazil in December called CCXP. Yeah, I know. I saw it on Twitter when they will be showcasing Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, and The Flash. Thank you, John. Yeah, I did know about that. So that's quite exciting. And as I said on the top of the show, it'll be interesting what they say there. And if they kind of reveal if these movies are connected to the future. I wouldn't expect them to say they're not connected to the future, because that wouldn't be any good for business. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they say there, John, for sure. Now, there could be trailers. That's the thing to look for. They could showcase trailers for Aquaman 2, Shazam, and The Flash. The Flash is the one people are really, waiting for. And this is December. Now, this is going to be interesting because your friends at Flash Film News categorically said there wouldn't be a trailer this year. So I really hope there is a trailer to make these mugs look even more muggish, because I'm fed up of these people who know nothing, talking crap and pretending they have a kind of ear, and they've got no ear. So this is going to be interesting. I mean, if they're going to be promoting these movies, there's going to be some kind of trailer. I wouldn't expect Ezra Miller to be there. So it'll be interesting how they promote the Flash movie. Very interesting. So I think you're going to get free trailers there. Free trailers for sure. It'll be maybe a final trailer for Shazam. Or maybe there'll be one more after that. Aquaman 2, that's exciting, in the Flash. So that's going to be an exciting event. So it's just funny because Flash Film News said there wouldn't be a trailer this year. But that sounds like there's going to be a trailer. Because what else? What else could they do there? So Flash Film News are going to look pretty stupid. That's why no one should listen to them at all. They don't know anything. They keep on saying there's been no extensive reshoots, blah, 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 because they're obsessed with everything staying with the Hamada plan. You know, so... And this is why I say, when you make big statements about what's definitely going to happen, what's not going to happen, when you don't actually know, you end up looking stupid. John, I wonder if any of the cast will be there. Maybe. I think the Shazam cast may be there. I mean, it will be doubtful for Ezra to be there. I think Jason Momoa might be. James Wan might be there. Who knows? But yes, that's exciting. That's exciting. And of course, the DCEU is very popular in South America as well. So they need to promote these movies. They really do, to try and make as much as they can from them. Now, if the trailer of The Flash is good, that's going to be an exciting thing for that film. They clearly don't have a track. They're not ready for a trailer for Blue Beetle yet, clearly. John, maybe James Gunn will be there. Maybe James, maybe Peter Safran, maybe both, maybe neither. I mean, Peter is producing some of those movies. So I would assume maybe Peter will be there. It'll be interesting. Because typical fandom, people talking about James Gunn constantly, but they're not talking about Peter. I'm sure that suits Peter to the ground, and it's all about James Gunn, but it's a partnership. And Peter Safran is as important to that process as James Gunn is. It will be more likely that Peter's there. Let me tell you why. Because Peter, as I say, produced some of those movies, if not all. So it'd be more likely Peter is there to promote them. If he's there. If he's there. He might not be there. Neither of them will be there. It may just be some trailers. I think there will be trailers. I think there'll definitely be trailers there. They're not going to go there without trailers. They wouldn't be going there to promote those movies. So hopefully it's not like Comic-Con and we actually see those trailers, and I think we will. And that's really cool to think that we could be getting an Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer and a Flash movie trailer. It's been a long time coming. So look out for Barbara Machete on Instagram, the director and the sister of director Andy Machete. And so I follow her on Instagram, so I'm always looking out for little teases from her. So yes, very exciting. Davian Donaldson, I know nothing about anything official about the DC film universe. My film news source, I always like doing it, is at Dark Horizons. I've never heard of them. Basically, no. Let me be clear, Davian. Nobody knows what's going on anymore. There are no leaks anymore. The only things you're going to know are what's officially announced, and you'll get echoes of them on whatever news site you follow. But none of the rumors are going to be true because nobody knows jack shit. The leaks have been plugged, so you're not going to know anything. You need to trust me on that. So whoever claims they have sources, it's gone now. You know, James Gunn and Zaslav are not going to allow anything to leak out unless it comes directly from them. Nobody knows anything but the people, only the people who shoot. John, do you think the trailers will leak online? I don't think they'll leak online. I think basically, I mean, there'll always be people there who may film stuff, so you may see a crap copy, but I'm hoping that the studio officially post those trailers online. So there's no leaks. As I say, there's no leaks anymore. There's no leaks anymore of trailers or anything. It's not going to be allowed to happen. Everything is going to come officially from the studio. Nobody knows anything apart from the studio, apart from the people working there and working on these properties. So if anyone says to you, I know this, I know that, nobody knows anything. Simple as that. I mean, the rumors that used to go on, because there were leaks coming out galore and it was ridiculous. This is how badly it's been run since the very inception of the DCEU. But now we've got proper people in charge. It's going to be different. Devin Donaldson, thank you, Mick. That's very true. No one knows nothing. They don't. Nobody knows anything. It's okay for us to guess and to have theories, but as long as we don't make these theories like fact and misinform each other, because that's wrong. Because there are no leaks. It's obvious. You can tell. The only stuff coming out at the moment is from James Gunn. It's obvious. He don't like rumors and lies coming out. He's exposed many journalists who have tried to do it in the past. It's pretty clear what's going to happen here. Nobody knows anything. I can hazard a few guesses, but I can't tell you what's definitely happening. And nobody can tell you that. Nobody. So stop drinking that snake oil. Stop falling for the traps. You know, don't pay for super chats to ask John Campier his fucking opinion. He knows nothing, right? You may as well just come on here and talk to me for fucking free, right? That's the beauty of this channel, isn't it? I don't charge you. I don't charge you. And you'll probably find what I tell you has more truth to it than what they tell you. Because reason a lot of the stuff I say comes true is because I use my common sense based on my own experience of the industry. I'm not into sensationalism, and that may be more entertaining to watch, but I'm into informing the people who support me rather than misinforming the people and just using people just to make money from, because I don't make money. There's no money to be made from me. I'm not monetized. I don't have the likes. I don't have the views. I don't have the subs. So I am not making money off of your company. I'm not making money off of your likes or your subs, but I appreciate the support for the channel. And it's great to do 2 lives a day and some pre-records as well. And it's a hobby. And let's see what happens to the channel. But I ain't making a profit out of any of this. John, Mickey Sutton is the worst for DC News. Don't follow him. Don't follow him. Don't follow him. He is a bullshitter, and he doesn't deny it, does he? He doesn't deny it. But yeah, he's full of shit. He is full of shit. He doesn't know anything. So, and then when something is revealed, he pretends he said it, and it was an exclusive by him. He's full of shit. Davion Donaldson, don't worry, I don't like John Campier anything. Yeah, listen, they don't know anything. Nobody does. So I think it's important we make that clear, that the leaks have been plugged, so nobody knows nothing. People claiming that they're fast tracking the Superman movie. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Again, just guesses, just guesses. All we know is what we're told from the people who are at the studio. But I think it's very exciting to be a DC fan like right now, because so many developing things are happening all the time. It's fresh, it's new, it's a new vision. So lots of new ideas coming out. It's at the point where they need us on their side. So the exciting stuff's going to happen, and less controversy. John, is there any news on Wonder Woman 3? No, John, absolutely nothing. A few weeks ago, Patty claimed that she's nearly finished the script and the studio want her to do more. Again, I don't really know if she's talking about the old leadership or the new leadership, because she don't fill me with any confidence in terms of Wonder Woman. In fact, in terms of Wonder Woman and her involvement, she scares the absolute shit out of me. Because Wonder Woman 84 was certainly an education. And I would dance the gig. I would dance the jig if I heard she wasn't involved anymore. I'd be so happy, because that's a problem. She is a problem, no question. As far as I'm concerned, there is no Wonder Woman 3 until they announce a Wonder Woman 3. Now, I know they announced the film as soon as Wonder Woman 84 was released, but that was the old plan, the old leadership, and things change as leaderships change, don't they? But people make assumptions that it's still the old plan. It isn't, clearly. Marcus Walker, Chad Zelensky for Wonder Woman. Did you see the John Wick 4 trailer? It looks amazing. Yes, he's a great director, but he's also a very, very busy one. He's working with Henry Cavill, of course, for the Highlander reboot as well. Yeah, he's a very busy guy. But yeah, I wouldn't. He came into Birds of Prey to help them get out of a rut. He tried to improve the action. He didn't have enough time to put his stamp on it, unfortunately, because the action in Birds of Prey isn't great, is it? I mean, that fight scene at the circus ring or wherever that was, that looked like I was literally watching clowns at a circus. John, why would they get rid of Wonder Woman's sword and shield? Well, not why Patty Jenkins did. I don't know. She doesn't believe in Wonder Woman using that stuff. It's all about progressives. It's all about feminism. This is what it's all about. They don't want women looking. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand their rules, right? But it was a dumb thing. It is something that she uses. And it was already introduced in the first film, and in Justice League, and in BVS. And it seems, at one kind of angle, she was saying during the marketing, all the DCEU directors see the Snyder Cut as canon, and then she takes away one thing that Zack wanted involved. It's weird. The whole situation is weird. It wasn't clever. She introduced that stupid golden suit, misused it, and yeah. Wonder Woman 84 is an absolute mess, and that's a shame. It's got a great score, though. But you'll have to ask Patty why she removed the sword and shield. Only she knows. I think she referenced it, but at this moment in time, I'm not even thinking about Wonder Woman. I think that's so far down the line now. Because, interestingly, Zaslav, he said, I want to focus on Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but he hasn't actually mentioned Jenkins and Wonder Woman in the same sentence. That's interesting. Where he's mentioned Todd Phillips, he's mentioned Matt Reeves, very, very, complimentary about Matt. We'll do whatever Matt wants to go. We'll go down any road Matt wants to take us down. He hasn't said any old shit like that about Patty Jenkins, and I feel that's very, very telling. I think, as I say, I use common sense. It's pretty obvious. When you use common sense and what people say, I think what's important in this game is what people don't say sometimes. Wonder Woman is clearly a very important character to DC. And, you know, they can't afford idiots being involved. Dabian Donaldson, I'm a proud DC fan, but I know some Marvel shows try and prove me and bully me for my excitement, but I don't take that rubbish. We'll just ignore them. That's the best thing. Marcus Walker, Patty also disappeared from Twitter after Wonder Woman 84. Yes, I thought she blocked me, but she definitely did a disappearing act. She did talk about Wonder Woman 3 a few weeks ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she seemed confident that she's still going to be involved. So who knows? For me, that's extremely worrying. I like Patty as a person. She's very polite. She's very well mannered. She speaks well. I don't dislike the woman, right? She seems like a really nice lady, and I don't want to come across toxic because she hasn't done anything to me personally. But as a creative, being put in charge of the future of Wonder Woman, that scares the living shit out of me. And any studio or leadership who allows her to remain in charge of that doesn't have my confidence. Simple as that. And it's the decisions they make which will, form my opinion about them going forward. If they actually green light this Jon Stewart redevelopment on HBO Max, I'm going to have doubts over this leadership. If they allow Patty Jenkins to carry on with Wonder Woman, I'm going to have doubts over this leadership, because good leadership has to make ruthless decisions. Shelving Batgirl was a ruthless decision, right? If you're going to shelve Batgirl, you've got to make the right decision. That's talked about, protecting the DC brand. Well, Patty Jenkins making more Wonder Woman films and content isn't protecting the DC brand in any way, shape, or form. That's what you get here. Straight talk. Straight talk. You won't get it anywhere else. Fans want honesty and directness. And there's too many DC accounts and DC YouTubers who take it where they want to go. We've got to stick to the facts. We've got to stick to what's plausible and what's not plausible. Dabian Donaldson, I definitely thought Wonder Woman 84 was a disappointment, but if other people like it, that's fine. Yeah, listen, I can't control what other people do and think. I can only control what I think. I'm not, you respect other people's opinions, of course. But it's pretty obvious that that movie and the director of that movie is a huge problem. Personally, I don't think many people like it. There's aspects of the film I find okay. I like the opening sequence in Themyscira. I like the emotional ending. That's okay. The soundtrack is absolutely outstanding by Hans. As usual, he never lets you down. Amazing soundtrack. One of DC's best, by the way. But the film isn't fit for purpose. And Cheetah is an icon in the pantheon of DC Comics. She's an icon. And what they did to that character was disgusting. It was ridiculous. Basically, she was a Gus Gorman from Superman 3 rather than proper Cheetah. They tried to create this friendship between Barbara, which is a good idea, Barbara and Diana. But they only just met and they were like besties. It was ridiculous. At this stage, we shouldn't be surprised with this franchise being disappointing. We've been disappointed multiple times. Marcus Walker, I like brighter costume for Wonder Woman, but that's about it. Unfortunately, the costume doesn't make it the movie, though, does it? I'll take the movies with the darker costume. Color palettes, costumes really don't matter if the film and the portrayal of said characters is not very good. I mean, to allow her to make more, you would have to be, you must have taken leave of your senses. So we shall see if she's still involved. Yes, I think there could be some big surprises in terms of Wonder Woman. Interesting. I think people are not ready for the future. Too many people making too many assumptions. Walker, I don't think Gunn and Patty have ever interacted either. Well, that doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm sure Gunn hasn't interacted with many people, but yeah, I haven't heard her congratulate him or anything. At the end of the day, excuse me, at the end of the day, we've seen what she did, what she wants to do. So, it's up to the studio to make their minds up. Personally, if it were me, she would have been out the window. She would never have even. I don't even know how the old leadership greenlit another movie by her. That says something about them. But they can't hide. These situations can't hide can't hide from us forever. You know, these things are going to come out sooner or later. What's actually going on? And Wonder Woman's a very important character, and again, you can't. I mean, Patty Jenkins is a bit like the elephant without a trunk. The thirsty elephant without a trunk. You know, that's what she is. Welcome to Movies TV Mad. I'm Met, your host with the most, and we're live. James Gunn has teased Jonah Hex. He's been teasing a lot of DC characters we either haven't seen in live action or haven't had a great, a great kind of representation in live action. Dabian Donaldson, I thought mailing NG was great as Mongol in the Suicide Squad. I wish she was in the film more. Yeah, well, he killed off a lot of characters, didn't he? And Mongol's a pretty, in the comics, pretty cool character. So I'm surprised he did that. But even then, we knew there was going to be a timeline change. Maybe that's why he was. They allowed so many characters to be killed off. Smash the like button if you haven't smashed the like yet. Stop saving your likes for Mama's geeky. She don't need them, I do. Welcome to the channel if you're only just coming in. Another day, another tease from James Gunn. Dabian Donaldson. Okay, take care, Mick. It was nice talking to you as well. As always, I have liked the video. Can't wait for another video soon. Thank you. And if this year was eventful for DC, just imagine what it will be like this time next year. We're going to be a lot more informed than we are at the moment. So that's exciting as well, isn't it? Brian Branch, cool, more characters in the DCU. Yes, the more the merrier. We need to fill out this universe. It's going to be a very lively, brand new universe, isn't it? So, of course, Arrowverse did introduce Jonah Hex, didn't they? So, Brian Branch, what do you think about Jonah Hex? Not much, because I don't know much about the character, to be honest, Brian, but I'm excited to see these different characters we haven't seen much of in live action actually appear in live action. So, of course, it's very exciting. But I don't have an opinion about Jonah Hex. It's just not a character I know much about. Brian Branch, I think we need to get a Green Arrow. Yeah, a Green Arrow will be great in the new DCU. I'd love to see that. He's a great character when he's done properly. I mean, Smallville were very clever introducing the character because they needed a kind of Batman and they couldn't use Batman, so they used Green Arrow, which pretty much was inspired by Batman in the comics anyway. Arrow Car, Arrow Cave. It's nice and quiet with a great big, I forgot the words. It's up to you, ooh. It would be interesting to see who they would cast for Green Arrow. Not the fan casting choice, please. Someone who can actually play Green Arrow proper. I shall give this chat another 10 minutes. If it doesn't liven up, I shall shoot off. And we'll continue tomorrow. Brown Brunch. Yeah, proper, I agree. A real actor, a proper actor to play the character. I don't really like the fan casting. Brown Brush, I'm excited for this new take on DC movies under James Gunn. So am I. I can't wait with all these teases, things he's been saying. It's all incredibly exciting, isn't it? And who knows what the future holds. But something very different and exciting. It's unknown territory for sure. Brown Brunch, well, I think somehow they're going to have to get Robert Pat. No idea. At the moment, that's a separate universe, so... Brown Branch, Robert Pattinson and Batman into the main DCU if they're going for a longevity. Who knows? Who knows? I'd be open for that, definitely. I think that will be great. Whether that's going to happen or not, nobody knows. Your guess is as good as mine. With the internet, some people would prefer that to be separate, and with some would like that to happen. But certainly, I'll be happy with Matt Reeves' universe joining the main timeline. But whether that's a reality or not, I'm not sure. Welcome to the show. John, and it depends on how long Robert Pattinson wants to play Batman for. Well, he has said he's interested in being around for a while. So, yeah, I think he's interested in being Batman for ever how long he's wanted to be Batman. And I think that's what he said, really. So, Robert Pattinson isn't the issue. The issue is what Matt Reeves wants and what Matt Reeves doesn't want. That's where it is. Robert Pattinson is definitely not the issue in this situation. They've clearly had discussions. They clearly know what they're going to do. And it's just for us to know next what they're actually going to do. The great thing is we've actually got a young live action Batman and a great live action universe with Matt Reeves. That's the thing. That's what I'm happy about. Where it's placed, they'll make that decision one way or the other if there is a decision to actually be made. If James Gunn makes Jonah Hex a household name, that could be one of his biggest achievements, because that's what he's good at, making unknown characters relatable and household names. That's partly why he's been brought on. Because once you make all these characters they weren't using before, brand names, you can sell their merch as well. There's big money to be made through this kind of blueprint. Something tells me before the first Iron Man, not many people were buying Iron Man merch. Do you know what I mean? But then when you bring in someone like Robert Downey Jr. and it's a good movie, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it, with toy sales? And this is why this IP is so important to them in terms of making money. Right, everyone, I'm going to wrap up the live video. It's been great. I've enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a quiet one tonight, so not much point hanging out. But I will be back tomorrow with the DC Universe Daily Live. You'll get a special 10-minute video as you always do, and we will be back in the evening. So this has been Movies TV Mad. I am Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I shall see you tomorrow with more DC chat, more movie and TV chat. So until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been fun.